This Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
Real wrath of God type stuff. Biblical.
No, not yet.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
I came here to give you these facts.
Dogs in camp, living together, mass hysteria.
We're going to live on. Today, we celebrate.
Flabbergasted by the Audacity.
Well, you know, it finally happened. It's finally an all-black cast. I'm very excited. We finally got rid of the white guy. Thank God, because that's what was bringing the ratings down.
Right before Black History Month, you know.
Exactly, you know. It's only fitting. We here at Flabbergasted by Audacity, you know, we love black people, so we thought, why not have an all-black cast for today? Even though you can't see us, but you can definitely hear us. We both like chicken. But welcome back to Flabbergasted by Audacity. I'm Jamal.
And I'm Khalil. I don't know if you wanted me to say that.
No,
Okay.
that's what I wanted you to do. So today Patrick's not here. It's okay. We have Khalil in his place. He's a big boy, you know. He works a lot of big hours, and he's done this without me. So I guess it's finally my time to do it without him. And I think what I really liked about their episode that he did with Justin was they just shit talked me. For like the good first 15 minutes is just them shitting on me. Like they wouldn't even get to like any news. They just talked about me. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they're just obsessed with me or something, but I'm gonna show him that I'm the bigger man. I'm gonna insult him throughout the whole episode, and not just like at the beginning. So I think it's
Not just the first 15 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So over here, what we started doing is we started doing a words of wisdom. So because so it's basically like what have you done? Would you say these last couple of weeks, or what have you experienced where you've been like, oh, okay, like that's like something that I learned, or that's something that like that's something new that like I did, or something different. Was there anything that happened this last week and a half that you could say?
Not particularly, but I as you know, I started boxing.
Yes.
So it finally clicked with me that the expression "roll with the punches" is a boxing term. Because,
okay.
Yeah, because I was practicing with my training partner, and then you have to roll, you have to duck and roll the hooks, right?
Yeah.
And the way you do that is you go the same direction the punch is coming from, and not the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I was like, oh,
that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
so...
that's good. So you roll with the punches. Yeah, you know, and like, how do you feel more confident now that you can beat someone in a fight than what you did? Like I said, like I think you started like a month ago. So when you started this?
I started 2 months ago.
Okay.
I started in October. Well, I started in October, but I had COVID for 2 weeks, so you know.
So the November. So like, do you feel like more confident, like if you
not particularly, because I'm not doing this to learn how to fight or anything. I'm just doing this to lose weight in an enjoyable way.
Okay, that's also very good. Okay, do you feel like have you weighed yourself? Have you
I gained weight.
Okay.
I gained weight.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? It was the holidays. It was
Yeah.
Christmas, so maybe.
And again, I was sick for 2 weeks. I couldn't do anything. So
exactly. So that also does not help you. But okay, well that's good, man. I'm happy for you. I'm hoping that it goes in the right direction soon. So I have like a shit ton of stuff. Some stuff we won't get into. I just have because we were off for about 3 weeks, so we have a lot of like backed up stuff. We'll try and aim towards there's some stuff because Patrick. I don't know if you noticed. Patrick's like a really he's not like a big Trump supporter, but like he likes him. So me and him like to like butt heads a lot about that.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that for him when he comes back, cause I got a bone to pick with him when he does come back. We'll get into some other stuff that happened around the world that doesn't involve politics.
Oh well, I mean, the one big political thing that just happened, I'm sure you're aware, is that Justin Trudeau stepped down.
Yeah, I think that we can go with that because he's not really gonna touch that area. So I mean, it was gonna happen. I saw it happening. I think I feel a little bad for the guy, to be really honest. Like I just kind of feel like, I mean, I really feel like the party was like, yeah, get out. Like the party didn't really support him.
I mean, to be fair, he kind of made a bunch of decisions that no one wanted.
Yeah, no, he did.
Like no one on the ground. I mean, no one on the ground. Wanted.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I mean, I don't know where you or Patrick stand, but there's a whole genocide going on in the Middle East right now
Yeah, that he's doing
Right.
like nothing about.
that he's doing nothing about, right?
Yeah.
He didn't even have to take a side. He could have just sanctioned Israel.
Yeah,
Right?
no, he just
Full disclosure, these are my opinions. They're
Yeah,
not
for sure,
Jamal
for
or
sure.
Patrick's. These are my
Yeah.
opinions. I think down with Israel, right? But and I'm saying that because I'm a teacher and I have Palestinian students
for
who,
sure, 100%.
right? So like I have a vested interest in this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Canada didn't even need, like, Justin Trudeau and Canada as a whole didn't even need to be like, we support the Palestinians, but they could just be like, we're gonna sanction Israel because they're committing war crimes.
Exactly.
Like you could
just
you could be
something
completely
basic.
impartial about it.
Yeah,
yeah.
just something like completely
literally
basic.
something basic, right? But
Yeah.
they wouldn't even do that. So it's like I'm not surprised that his ratings like tanked.
Yeah, no,
And,
because he won because the young people voted for him. Like he won because
Yeah,
a lot of kids. So like, I mean,
Because he was gonna legalize pot. And,
yeah,
all
that
this
definitely
shit,
helped.
so.
I'm curious to see like what's gonna be happening now because to be honest, like I'm not sure about you, but I really do not like the new Democratic Party. I feel
I think the NDP is the only party I would ever vote for the rest of my life at this point.
The problem with that party is not that I don't like their values. I think their values are great, and I liked when Jack Layton was
Yes,
the party
I've heard that Jack Layton was the better party leader compared to Jagmeet.
Jagmeet, what I don't like about him is that he's very flip flop. It's like one
Is
week,
he?
yeah. Well, if you think about it, right? Because he's the one who kept Trudeau in power for 2 years, right? Because without the NDP support, Trudeau could not get a lot of things done because he had a minority government to like begin with, right?
Right.
Now, it's like what happened was during like these last couple months when Poilievre was telling him to quit and all that stuff. At first, Singh was like, "Yeah, you're right. We're gonna make him quit," and then 2 weeks later, turns around and goes. They had like a confidence vote, and if the vote would have passed, there would have been an election that would have been held before the end of last year. But Singh turned around. He turned around in the middle. He's like, "Yeah, no, I trust him." And Poilievre's like, "Dude, what the fuck? You just told me 2 weeks ago you're down, like you're ready."
Right.
And then 2 weeks later, you're like, no, I like.
Now, I can hearing that.
Yeah.
I can totally agree why people wouldn't like Jagmeet.
Yeah.
I just think, and I'm not saying that's not a valid reason. I just think a lot of the reason people don't want to vote for the NDP is because Jagmeet's an out and proud Sikh.
Yeah,
right?
that also
Like
does not help.
If Jagmeet was
like white,
Jack, Jagmeet was Jack, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And was white, the NDP would have been voted in like a million years ago.
Yeah, no,
right?
you
But
have, you are
I
right.
think,
you are right, 100%. Because if you look at every other party leader,
exactly. And I think, but the other thing is like because Jagmeet's like visible minority status also informs his politics, right?
Exactly.
Like the fact that he's a brown guy in Canada who's a devout Sikh because he wears the turban and he doesn't take it off. He doesn't. He's not a moderate about it. Like he wears it.
Yeah.
Like it's going to inform his policies, and his policies are very like minority rights focused, civil rights focused, social focused, right?
Yeah. And unfortunately, we still have like racist people.
I know, and but even worse than that, like as I'm sure you are aware, in not only in Quebec but also in like Alberta and like BC and like the Midwest, like all they're caring about because they're farmers, right? The Midwest is all farm, and the West Coast is all corporations. They don't want social equity; they want the better bottom line, right? And Jagmeet is actively saying like you're gonna pay more taxes. And you're gonna support the little guy, and they don't want that, right?
For sure.
So it's like the problem is like the little guy is obviously gonna vote for Jag. Well, I don't know if they are, but 9 times out of 10 they'll probably vote for Jagmeet because he actually aligns with their values. But the problem is because of his minority status, he will not be getting voted in.
No, he's not, and it sucks. It sucks. It really does suck because I think, like I said, NDP like value wise, like I'm down. Like I see like what they want to do, and I'm like, oh my god, yes. But then I look at the top and I'm going, dude, you can never win. I did say there was one time, and I thought that was really good of him, was he was walking into Parliament. This happened like, I want to say like back in October. He was walking into Parliament one time, and these two guys were just heckling him. And one of them struck a nerve. I forgot what he had said exactly, but Singh turned around. He turned, like he was walking in. He turned around and got in the guy's face. He's like, say it again. He's like, say what again? He's like, no, say it again. Say exactly what you just said. I didn't say anything. Oh, so now when I look at you, you want to say anything, huh? It's like you want to talk to me, whatever, and then when I come to your face and tell me to say it again, you want to back off. And I was like, see, that I agree with. Like he has his moments of like where I'm like, oh fuck, this is a good guy. But then he does that flip flop shit in the apartment. I'm like, okay, like really, dude. I mean, I think Polyev's gonna win. I'm not a really big fan of Polyev.
I really hope not, bro.
I hope not either. If anything, my perfect world is that he gets minority. He gets a minority government. Either NDP and the Liberals team up and kind of make that minority government with if the Black Quebecois wants to participate. If they don't, fuck off, whatever, I don't care. And then at least like he can't do everything that he wants to do. He can only really do things that he should be doing with the help of the other two parties if they agree. You know, because the guy's a fucking whack job. The guy he like it's mini Trump. It's mini Trump. Like he can't escape that. He could try all he wants. The guy, like, I've read some of his shit and I'm going, he wants to get rid of healthcare. I'm like, no.
What? Yeah, let's get rid of one of the defining features of our country.
Yeah, I was like, no, don't do that. That'd be great, actually. So, no, it's scary. And I think what's also very scary, and I'm glad that you're, I didn't know how involved you were, or how knowledgeable you were about this type of stuff, because I talked to a lot of people our age, as you know, not a lot of us vote. You know, I feel like and I'm excited to vote. I love voting, but I couldn't wait when I was 18. I was like,
me too.
I get to exercise, but a lot of kids are just not informed.
Because I think, first of all, right, it's hard to get information that's not propaganda anymore.
100%, right? I agree. Yes.
So a lot of people our age just tune it out, because how are you supposed to tell what's true and what's not? First of all, so it's like information overload, right? So that's step one, and I don't blame them. But the other thing is like, what party really aligns with someone's values, right? Because the whole idea of a democracy is that you're supposed to vote for the party that aligns with what you believe in, because ideally they would get in office and then enact those values, right?
Yeah.
But because of the way things are, right? Like, are you a liberal? Yes, but the Liberal Party also does policies that I vehemently don't agree with. I'm not saying I do, but you know what I mean. Like, they do things that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
Am I a conservative? Maybe economically, but I'm not a conservative socially.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to enact
you don't get
either,
all the values that like you want.
And then like, I'm an Anglophone, so I'm not going to vote for either of the French parties, because their whole policy is built on the fact that they don't want me to exist anymore. Right? So like, you know, that's two parties just off the table immediately. So it really only leaves one party, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then that party, unfortunately, has a visible minority as its head, so it's never going to get elected. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people our age just feel like voting doesn't mean anything because of that. You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
And
it's hard. Like even in like provincial like here in Quebec, there was a new party that even came out. They got some votes in like the West Island and stuff like that. It was for I think it was the last election, and
I think he told me about that. I think he told me
the People's Party of Quebec.
Yeah.
And I was
my dad voted for them too.
Exactly, you know, like, and it's cool to have these smaller parties, because I remember when I was watching very closely the American election, how many other people run besides the Democrats and Republicans. Like, there's like at least 20 people on that motherfucker. It's crazy that there's that many, but they just do not get, at least in Canada, like, even Elizabeth May, God bless her soul, of the Green Party, like, they get 2-3 max, and they're having a field day, like the
but bottles. Like, I think the thing is, like, I think it's a good thing that we have a more than two party system.
Oh, for sure.
Because as you see, like in the States,
it's
like
terrible.
You have two parties, and the two parties either value the same things as you, or neither of them do, and then you don't vote, which is what happened with this election, right? Like, what was it? Like 11 million people didn't vote or something.
Yep. Basically,
and that's why Trump won. Like,
no, 100%. And it sucks. It really does suck. I think also it's like, and I do get the frustration. I definitely do get the frustration when you vote for a party that maybe isn't as popular. Like, the fact that you vote NDP every year is great, but I would understand, as someone who's a new voter, or someone who maybe hasn't voted as often, that when you vote for a party that loses all the time, it can get discouraging. I can understand why it would get discouraging. You might go, you know what, fuck it. You just want to win. You want to feel like you're part of the winning team, and you might just vote for the party that you know is going to win, so you feel like you've done something, you know? So I definitely get that.
I think ultimately, and this is my opinion, it's not the opinion of the show.
Yeah.
I think because a lot of people were like, "Oh, if you for the American election specifically, the sentiment is still here.
Yeah,
it's like if you voted for a party that wasn't the party I vote for, then you basically voted for the other party. It's like I don't agree with that. I think in a perfect world, you could vote for the party you actually believe in, even if they don't win it. It shows that you still have a voice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
No, I think so too. I really think there was like a bandwagon at a certain point with that. So no, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of people, and I'll get more into that next week. There's a lot more people running to take his spot. One of them being, which I just find so funny, the finance minister. What's her name? Was Kristen Freeland. If you haven't heard about her, she's not liked by many people. And me
I've never heard of her.
She's not fun. She's the finance minister. Anyways, she quit. Yeah. She quit 2 weeks before Trudeau quit, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then now she wants to run, run for the spot that Trudeau had. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I quit. By the way, let me come back real quick and be the leader. I'm like, yo, and she's in the lead. And she's in the lead, which is crazy.
It's like that Long Beach Griffey skit.
Yeah.
Where he's like, and I'm not looking back when I leave.
Yeah.
Unless he make it to the lead.
Yeah, I'm like, that's great. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Most likely, we're gonna be talking about elections again for like another 4 more months because he basically Trudeau put a hold on any discussions until March. Okay. And then that's when they do a non-confidence vote, which is probably most likely going to pass, and that's when you have an election. So we have an election May-ish, maybe June. So we're going to be talking about this for a little while.
Well, you know who I'm voting for. So,
yeah, no problem. And I don't know yet. We're going to see when we get there. Now I want to go back on something, and this is I had a discussion with Patrick about 2 months ago, but because you're a teacher, I think it's I wanted to get your insight because you're in the building. So as you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure in Alberta you can no longer have a phone in the classroom.
This is a Canada-wide policy. This is
Canada-wide policy now. Okay.
Well, I think it's like so it was provincial-wide. It was enacted in basically every province.
Yeah.
Quebec signed it into office at the end of last June. Okay. So. No, sorry. Because I started working in the school fully in February.
Okay.
So February, March, it wasn't enacted.
Okay.
But by like end of June, it was signed into law.
Okay.
Province wide.
Okay.
But then it's enacted in all the provinces, so it's basically a nationwide policy.
Okay, got you. Okay, so. So
or more and more provinces. I don't know if it's every province, but most of the provinces.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them are doing it. Yeah. So then you being in the building, you being in that environment. So what exactly does it entitle? Because I just read that they just cannot have a phone on their person.
Okay. So basically, so in Quebec we don't have grade 12, right?
Yeah, no, we have grade 11.
Everywhere else does, but we don't. So and our middle school is the same building. It's not a separate building that you go to.
Yeah.
Right. So grade 7 and 8 middle school, they get a pouch called Yonder. It's a magnetic pouch.
Okay.
They put their phone in it and it's magnetically locked. Right.
Okay. Wow.
They put it in if they want to have their phone on them, they put it in there.
Okay.
Or they put it in their locker, or they don't bring it to school. That's the options they have.
Okay.
The senior students are allowed to have it on them, technically. Right, technically you're allowed to have it on you, but the teachers shouldn't see it. If they see it, they confiscate it, obviously, because it's a fucking it's a policy in the province. It's in the law, right?
Yeah.
It's against the law. Then it's the teacher should send it to the office, but most teachers are like, you'll get it back at the end of the period.
Okay.
Right. First time, and then any time after that, I guess it's up to them. Like they'll send it to the office, discretion. Right? Yeah.
So then,
there's no law on what to do with it. They're not supposed to have it.
Have it. So the bag. So all the teachers had the bag. So the bag. So what do you?
No. The students have it. The students were given it.
Oh, okay. So they're given this bag. What's probably all of them already lost by this point in time. I feel.
I don't know. Because I remember I work with the special needs kids.
This is true. Yeah. So I guess you'll see it as often, but when you do sub or whatever, like, do you feel? Because like for me, when I discussed this with Patrick, I said I think this is very good. I said
Yeah.
because it's getting out of control with what
It is.
technology
No,
can do
100%.
now.
100% is getting
Yeah.
out of control.
So how is it affecting the kids? Are they more antsy? Are they
Yes.
more out of line
Yes.
because of
Yes.
really?
Yes. So keep in mind, I usually sub for senior grades when I
Yes.
sub.
Okay.
Because my just because that's what I put my preferences as.
Okay.
But I've subbed for junior grades a few times within the last few months. And none of them had their phone, and
Okay.
they were okay, right? They were okay.
Okay.
But that's only one period, right? I'm not with them the whole day.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
But you know,
Is it even during lunch? Are they not allowed to have their phone during lunch?
so that's the thing. The law is like they're not supposed to have it at all at the school.
Okay.
But like, you know, for legal reasons, they're like you can have it because say there's a fire drill or a lockdown.
Yeah,
or whatever,
that's what I was
right?
saying. That
So
it's a contact.
so it's like okay, you need an emergency contact, so you're allowed your phone.
Yeah.
The original plan at my school,
Yes.
was you're allowed to have it during lunch but not recess.
Yeah.
Right. But I think now it's like you're not allowed to have it. It's a bit weird. The wording is a bit
gray.
weird, and again,
It's muddy.
I'm usually not with the kids at lunch. I'm with my colleagues.
Yeah.
So, you know, or the kids that I am with are my special needs kids,
Yeah.
and they're in our special room. So if they have it, it's okay. Like we let them use it at lunch.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Definitely.
So I think it's like school discretion. Like you can use it at lunch, but you shouldn't be using it. You definitely shouldn't be using it in class, and you shouldn't be using it between classes.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
lunch should be okay, and
The
after
one
school
time.
and before school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they are becoming more antsy. So like, I guess that's
Yes.
gotta wear and tear down the teachers too. I feel.
Oh
with them
yeah,
acting-
because the thing is like, and I think it's more of a problem in elementary school because iPad babies are a thing.
Yeah.
You know, kids are getting iPhones the minute they come out of the womb, basically.
Yeah.
Because parents don't want to parent.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not gonna mince words. Like a lot of parents just throw their kid in front of an iPad or whatever,
call it
and
a
then they
day.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I'm not saying it's necessarily their fault. Like maybe they have to work 2 jobs to support the kid.
For
right?
sure, 100%.
But the thing is, like, you can take the time to like actively parent your child. Like,
Yeah,
you
no.
don't need to give them a phone. Right?
Yeah.
So, and that's something I'm afraid of when I have kids. Like,
It's true.
because I know
it is
I know
scary.
I don't want to give my kid a phone until they're at least like 13.
Yeah.
I didn't get my phone until I was 13.
Yeah.
But their friends are gonna have phones from like they're 5.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, it's like,
So
and,
it's
and
like-
then it's that peer pressure. It's that.
Yeah.
It's that.
So
How come I don't have it? And
yeah. So from what I understand, the kids definitely are more anxious now. They're more antsy. They have a shorter attention span. They rely on their phone for basically everything. And I'm sure, like you and Patrick talked about it, but like ChatGPT is like running rampant in schools.
that
Like,
must. Yeah. That must.
it's so bad. It's so bad. And like the attention span is really bad because like, so, you know, it's like, and I'm an English teacher by trade, so like you have to read a lot, right? Like for your work. And like the kids can't, first of all, they can't read and they can't write because they've had to use computers like forever because of these kids grew up in the pandemic, right? So it's like,
so it's for them. It's
you know,
computers.
everything had autocorrect and whatever, so they never learned how to actually write and they never learned how to actually read. So that's step 1. But step
That's
2,
so crazy.
say you need them to watch a movie for an assignment or whatever, they can't pay attention.
Wow.
And it's like, they're like, oh man, this thing is so long, and it's like a 20-minute video. I was literally like, guys, this movie's like an hour and a half. When I was doing my third stage,
Yeah.
I was like, this movie's an hour and a half. We finished the book. We're gonna watch the movie. You don't even have to do questions on it. You're just watching the movie for fun. And they're like, oh, an hour and a half is so long. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wow.
Movies are 3 hours now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, bro, that's unwatchable. I'm like, so what do you mean? Like, what do you... Like, how long is too long? They're like, anything over 60 seconds. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, there's no way. And the thing is, a lot of kids don't have hobbies anymore because
Really?
of their phone. Yeah. So, like, I would ask my students, I'm like,
I never realized that one. That was actually
so
interesting.
here's the
Okay.
thing, right?
Mhm.
If the kid had hobbies beforehand,
Yeah.
they usually keep those hobbies. So if they're on a sports team,
Yeah.
they're still on the sports team. If
Okay.
they do like dance or art or whatever, they kept those because they were doing that before everything went to shit, basically.
Yeah. Got it.
Right. Ideally,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But then there are some kids who are like, I'm like, so what movies do you watch? And they're like, I don't watch movies because they're too long. I'm like, okay. Do you play any video games? Do you like listen to music? They're like, no. I'm like,
you don't listen to music?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, so what do you do like when you're not in school?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do for fun? And like, I just scroll TikTok. And I'm like,
wow.
What? And I'm like, so you don't watch TV? No. You don't like just listen to music? You don't like watch movies? You don't play video games? Like nothing? No video games? They're like, well, the only video games I play are like Fortnite or whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. But
I mean,
like,
yeah, better than nothing. But like, fuck.
But still, like, you just scroll TikTok? That's all you do when you have nothing? Like, that's what you do to entertain yourself? You go, yeah, like, it has everything on it. I'm like, bro, the videos are no longer than, like, 3 minutes max.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And it makes me so sad, because then, like, you try to get them to read something that's, like, really profound, or, like, experience something that's, like, really important, right?
Yeah.
And it just goes way over their head. It just goes way over their head. For 90% of them. For 90%. I've had students where they've blown me away.
Yeah, no,
right?
You're always gonna have a couple of diamonds in the rough. But I didn't even really think about that. I did hear about this. I think it's called doom scrolling. Is that what the kids are calling it?
Yeah.
So is that what it is? It's just scrolling nonstop.
Yeah, it's just endlessly scrolling because
you got nothing to do.
So, well, yeah, because there's nothing to do, but also, like, doom scrolling specifically refers to, like, because negativity is what boosts the posts, right?
Yeah.
Like, usually, just in general, like, negative things do better than positive things, right?
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck that, like, this dad saved his daughter from, like, a car crash or whatever, when the post right after that is about how, like, we think, like, someone thinks women should belong in the kitchen or something, right? Because it makes you angry, so you're more incentivized to, like, react or to respond or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So negativity is heavily favored in the algorithms, right? So doom scrolling is when you just scroll and there's negative, because that's what gets pushed to the top of the algorithm, right?
Wow.
And the algorithm and these apps are inherently, by design, designed to keep you scrolling, right? Like, it's gotten to the point where I've installed an app to stop me from using Twitter, Instagram, TikTok on my phone from the hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I physically cannot use it.
Okay.
But the thing, I mean, I can, but I made it so that I have to wait 30 seconds before I can open the app. Like, I open the app, and then it makes me wait 30 seconds, and it's like, do you really need to do this right now? Is this a good time? You know, just to be like, like, do I really need to do that? And then once those 30 seconds are done, I get 10 minutes.
Okay.
I get 10 minutes, and then I only get to do that 5 times a day. And it's to the point where, like, I look at my phone, and I'm like, I don't have a TikTok notification. I already don't have notification on TikTok, but it's like,
no,
I
can't have notifications on that. I would lose my mind.
I have Instagram notifications, but I can't open them, because if I do, I have to wait 30 seconds. Fuck it. So I just don't use it. It's been like 11 days straight. I just don't use these apps.
Okay. Nice.
And
you know what? That's actually a very good app. It's a very good idea. But just going back to the kids, I mean, as a teacher, and I'm not even a teacher, and I'm worried about the generation below me, and the generation that's starting now, which
below
is
them.
which is the, I'm not sure if you know, but this year is a new generation. It's generational beta. So
I didn't hear about that, but okay.
It's so funny. I think it's called the generational beta. I'm going, and you'll be clowned on forever.
Yeah.
But
for life,
But basically, like, I coach soccer, so I kind of see, like, a little bit. I don't get to see everything that happens in like a school, but I'm also teaching, but just a sport. And I remember we had every time I get a new team, my first lesson is not even on the field. I'm just in a room, and we're explaining and we're talking, and there's a clock, right? An analog clock in that room. So last year I had 16-year-old girls, and
they can't read it. They can't read the clock.
Bro, I could not believe it.
They don't know what that means. They don't know what a quarter past hour means. They don't know what quarter to means.
I could not believe that. But okay, maybe this is me. I'm really bad when people say quarter. I hate that. Just tell me the fucking numbers. But I can read an analog clock. Like, I have a watch that's like the analog. So I go, okay, girl. So it's about like 7:40. They're like, how do you know that? I'm like, what do you mean? How do I know that? He goes, what are you looking at? I'm like, do you mean the clock on the wall? Oh, I can't read that. I'm like, you can't. What? That. Like, being a teacher, seeing these kids who are going to be in the workforce, who are going to be contributing.
Bro, it's so bad like AI and automation is so bad. I had people in my program at McGill who were like, oh, I'm going to use ChatGPT to write my lesson plan for me. Motherfucker, that's our job.
Wow.
That's all we have to do. We just have to write the lesson. I mean, it's not all we have to do, obviously.
No, but
in university,
yeah.
90% of our work is, can you write a lesson plan and then execute it? If ChatGPT is writing the lesson plan for you, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
I didn't even know that. That's crazy. So it's not even the students. It's not even like the generation before me. It's my generation.
Yeah, it's our generation because we had it first. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We had it first. So we had it when it was still new and not as known and whatever.
Yeah.
Now teachers are like, well, now we have to pay for AI checking tools that also use AI, funnily enough. But they're like, we need to use AI checking tools to check if this is AI work because kids don't know what a semicolon or a colon is. God forbid the semicolon. They don't know what a colon is.
Yeah.
But they're writing thesis level dissertations about like Catcher in the Rye. Like, this is clearly not your work, bro.
Well,
you know
I mean, I get to a certain degree. Like, if the worst kid in the class all of a sudden becomes fucking Mozart overnight, or fucking you would know, right? Like, you would know, like, this is not.
But the thing is, it's like, so because of, and I think the problem is, like, I'm not saying it's not a good thing that more and more people are getting disorders diagnosed. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it feels like, at least from my experience, it feels like a lot of parents, like, so their kid comes to them with a problem, and the parents are like, well, I don't want to be a bad parent and like not listen to my kids. So if my kid says that they have dyslexia, dysgraphia, ADHD, whatever, I'll just accept that they have it and I'll immediately get them an IEP, right?
Yeah.
For extra time or computer or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the kid clearly doesn't need this.
Yeah.
At least they don't need it anymore, right?
Yeah.
They don't need it anymore,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, you know, a lot of kids now, because I had an IEP growing up. And for those who aren't in the know, an IEP is an individualized education plan. Essentially, it's just the government recognizes that you have a learning challenge / disability, and so the school is mandated by law to support you in a way that helps your disabilities or challenges or whatever. And it's tailored to the student. So if the student struggles with attention, the teacher is given strategies to help with that student, for example. If the student has behavioral issues, the teacher is told these strategies might work. Implement them with this student. See what happens. And it's a process, right? So it's like at the beginning of the year they have this in their IEP. By the middle of the year, you evaluate, you check in with the student. Is this something we still need to work on? Yes, no. If it is, we keep it on. If it's not, we remove it and we see what else we can do. And it stays with them until the school deems it that they no longer need it, and then it's removed from the government. But it's a government legal document. Yeah. Right. And it entitles students to certain things. So, for example, if my child has dyslexia and dysgraphia, right? Dyslexia, they have trouble reading, and dysgraphia, they have trouble writing. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The school, and they have an IEP, I should say, and they have an IEP. Yeah. The school is mandated to give them resources that would help them to succeed despite, to catch up, or even just to succeed despite their disabilities. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So do you feel that, like, I think are certain students like kind of abusing that system?
I think they are because first of all, you need an educational psychologist to determine whether they need one or not. Yeah. No, sorry, you need an educational psychologist to determine what disabilities, if any, that they have. Yeah. A child psychologist, sorry. Yeah. If they have a disability, that they figure that out. Then the child psychologist meets with the educational psychologist to see, okay, this and this disability might impact them educationally this way. I recommend they get this. And then the educational psychologist writes up like a doctor's note, basically, and takes it to the Ministry of Education. And then the Ministry of Education is like, okay, we'll allow we will write an IEP, we will make an IEP for the student, right? And then the teachers fill the IEP, but like it's a legal document. Right? Yeah. Like it's a whole it's not overnight. It's a whole process, right? But the thing is, I think what happens is kids might at some point in their life have had a difficulty. Yeah. Right? And the parents were like, okay, so they did everything they were supposed to. They took them to a psychologist, the educational psychologist. They got the IEP, it's whatever. And then the kid no longer has this issue, but they realize that, oh, because I have this IEP, I'm entitled to certain things other students aren't, so I'm going to keep it, right? Like, I can't tell you how many students would be like, oh, sir, I have an IEP, so I'm entitled to a computer, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, what we're doing does not require a computer. You can write it by hand, right? Or they're like, I have an IEP that's, like, entitles me to extra time, and in my head, I'm like, okay, you have entitled to extra time, so you get extra time to do whatever this assignment is. But then one of my students' parents emails me and is like, we need to talk. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I call them, and they're like, my student has a IEP for extra time, so she should have been entitled to extra time on this, like, assignment.
Yeah.
And I'd only learned that day that I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I didn't know that because I was replacing a teacher, so I don't have access to
the IEPs.
The IEPs.
Okay.
It's the actual teacher that writes them, not the replacement.
For sure, definitely.
Right? And it's confidential, right? I'm not allowed to see them.
For sure.
So because it's a medical document. So so then I was like, oh, I didn't know, I was unaware, but that's fine. I'll give her extra time. It's whatever. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
So then I talked to my colleagues, and I was like, this happened, and it was a really weird interaction. I don't know what to do. And they're like, oh, no, extra time just means on exams. They're not allowed to have it on assignment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like that makes a lot more sense too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So even the parents, by no fault of their own, like maybe they don't even know what that means, right?
They're probably just thinking extra time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I think what it is a lot of parents are uninformed about what the IEP actually means, right? Mm-hmm. They hear it's a plan that's going to help my child, and they just sign it because obviously a good parent wants to help their child, right? Yeah. And then the students are uninformed because they think it means something, but it's not, or they are informed and they're like, well, if I stop having my IEP, I don't get this privilege that I've enjoyed for X amount of years to help me succeed. And they might not even need it anymore, but they've had it for so long, it's like a crutch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what it is. So a lot of students now, because of, honestly, the pandemic and the proliferation of cell phones, like a lot of them have severe anxiety. Right?
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Do you feel like it's last one, and then we'll move on to something else? Do you feel like it's affected in any way in sense of bullying? Has it gone up or down because of?
Okay, so here's the thing. We had a staff meeting on Monday to come back from the break, right? We had a staff meeting.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was brought up in the staff meeting was that bathrooms have become like a hot topic in the school. Okay. So a lot of kids are too anxious to eat in the cafeteria, so they'll eat in the bathroom because they don't want people looking at them when they eat. They're too anxious about it.
All right.
Okay.
So restaurant,
No. So that's already like something. Okay.
Yeah.
So the anxiety is so bad that they don't want to eat in a public space.
Okay.
Which is already just insane.
Yeah.
But secondly, then kids are bullying those kids because they're hiding in the bathroom.
Oh, right? Okay.
So now the kid doesn't even feel safe at all in the school because the one place they would have felt safe, the bathroom, they're getting bullied in there. And do I think it's affecting bullying? Absolutely 100%. Yeah. And you know this because, like, no one is posting the reality of their life on social media. When they do, it's like, it means that, like, their life is basically, like, on the brink of disaster, right? Like, everyone posts the best of their life on social media. Yeah. Right? If they don't, it's like a sign of something is either really wrong right now or it's been wrong and you finally snapped.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's already hard when adults are comparing themselves to other adults. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine kids with a not fully developed brain comparing themselves to adults or other kids, but mostly adults?
Yeah.
Right? And again, because a lot of kids don't have hobbies that are like, I mean, just in general, but especially age appropriate ones, because like a lot of, for example, and this is especially true for girls, right? There's a lot of anecdotal evidence that's come out where it's like girls that are in elementary school are like doing like get ready with me, like makeup tutorials and shit, and like try on hauls of clothes and stuff. And it's like,
you're 12.
Bro, you're 12. When I was 12, and granted, I'm not a girl, but like when I was 12, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh with my brother and pretending I was a wizard in Harry Potter and mimicking Power Rangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, we had Saturday morning cartoons, and I went to swimming lessons, and like I did all this stuff. that kids just don't do anymore. Because first of all, there's, and you know this too, like the mall near where we live, there's nothing in it anymore. Like there's nothing to do. Right? So the kids have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So they sit on their phone, and then on their phone they're seeing everyone's picture perfect life all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not even people their age, it's adults who have everything ideally. They have everything almost figured out.
Yeah.
Right? They have money, they have like status, they have all this stuff that a 12-year-old will literally never know what that's about.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow, man. You know what? You're opening my eyes about a lot of stuff. I'm glad that like you're trying to solve it. It must be a fucking difficult thing to solve.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Wow.
Because it's to the point where even the kids are like, it's kind of insane, Mr.
No, for
Bell.
sure.
Like,
yeah.
Like even they're like, the brain rot is actually insane.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad, and obviously the younger grades have it the worst because it's like
because they've been surrounded by this.
Like you and me will say stuff like Skibidi Get Riz in Ohio with Livy Dunn and Baby Gronk and the Grimace Shake, you know, and Phantom Tax or some shit. Like we'll say that ironically because what the fuck does that even mean?
But they say it.
They say it to say it. You walk around the 7th grade hallway.
Yeah.
That's all you hear. They're like, "Yo, that shit was so Sigma." I'm like, what? Like, wow. I have a student who's 14. Right? Yeah. He's 14, but he's like 6'3" and he's really bulky, right? So he's like my youngest brother, where like he was really big from a young age, so he kind of grew up really fast, but he's still a kid. Yeah. So he says that shit all the time, and I have to remind myself that he's 14. Yeah. Right? I'm like, oh my god, I'm on a tell him like, shut up, that's so stupid, stop saying that, like you're 18. But I'm like, no, he's 14. Yeah. He's 14. This is literally what they do. This is what they do, right?
Okay. Wow. Yeah. No, honestly, dude, I mean, thank you. Honestly, I wanted to get you back on the show to ask you about this. I think Patrick's going to love talking about that. Definitely, if you do come back, we want to talk about that some more, but we got to move on to a couple other topics. So GTA 6, the map got released. From what I can tell, it's got released.
Is it actually Vice City?
It's massive, dude. This map is fucking big.
But is it taking place in Vice City? Like is that
no, it's taking place back in. It's basically Miami or Orlando, Tampa. All in one
so
map.
Vice City, City, yeah. So it's back in Vice City. Okay.
Yeah, but it's fucking big. This map is crazy.
I'm very glad that I have a job now, so that I can buy it on release.
I know,
not
me
be
too.
Like with GTA 5, where you guys had it for a year and a half before I had it.
No,
I will need to upgrade my computer to play it though.
No, well, see, here's the thing, buddy. It's not coming out on PC on release date, from what I can tell. And this is why I want to talk about this too. From what I saw, maybe it changes. But remember, when GTA 5 came out, it came out on PS3 and Xbox 360.
It's PS3 and Xbox 360 first, yep.
And then 2 years later, it showed up on PC. Yeah. I think they're gonna be doing that again, because as of right now, from what I could tell, there's been no talks about this being released on PC release day, but there has been talks for PS5 and Xbox. I think they're buying the rights. Consoles are buying the rights to have this game released on console before it comes to PC. I'm pretty sure that's what. Well, if you think about it, and even if they're not buying the rights, Rockstar made a stupid amount of money off of 5.
Yeah, like what was it, like $11 billion for 10 years or whatever? Something like that.
So it's like, I don't see why they wouldn't, because here's the thing, I'm not a hypocrite. If they're telling me it only comes on PS5, I'm buying a PS5. Like, it's gonna happen, you know? So
well, especially now that you can actually buy one, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah. But so I'm looking at that right now. So they got Miami, Tampa, Orlando. They got Fort Myers, which is like Fort Lauderdale. They got like this little island in a corner here. It's called Key West. That also seems to have an airport attached to it. So there's gonna be 4 airports. They got one big lake in the middle. They got Palm Beach on the side. So that's gonna be another like crazy amount of like water areas. There's a giant like mountain in the middle. This map looks massive. Like, Jamal,
not to cut you off, but you do remember that it's 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah. We're gonna go to about like 8:15, and then we're gonna call it
Okay,
there.
okay.
So
just want to make sure.
yeah, so GTA 6, it's big. I believe it's only going to be on console to start. We'll see. Maybe
Yeah, for sure,
down the line.
for sure.
Now, there's also been rumors. They don't know if it's gonna be coming out this year or next year. But as soon as we hear anything, Flabbergasted by Audacity, we'll let you know. We'll let you know when
As soon as we learn anything, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Moving on to that. So I saw unfortunately on TikTok, a video about the Minecraft movie. We never got to speak about it with you, but how do you feel about the movie, just off the trailer, about what you saw so far?
Off the trailer, I feel like the movie shouldn't exist. Like
yeah. Okay, so I'm glad.
Or if it wanted to exist, why is it live action? Just
to make it animated. I don't get why.
Especially because Jack Black has shown that he's really good with voice acting. Like if you wanted Jack Black to be Steve, that's fine. But Steve is very clearly not white in the game.
Yeah.
Right? We can all agree.
Yeah.
He's not white in the game.
Yeah.
And so why are we casting a white guy to play him?
Yeah.
But secondly, I'm sure it's because Jack Black's like a comedic powerhouse, right? I like that Jason Momoa's in it, because Jason Momoa is just like, I mean, he's eye candy for a lot of people. Step one, but two, he seems to be like a genuinely good actor.
For sure, yeah, no, he's a solid guy.
But,
really nice
but
guy.
again, we have the CG to make the llamas look like that and the mobs look like that, right?
Just the players.
Why is it not just animated?
I hope that we just pull. I think as a community, if we can just pull another Sonic the Hedgehog, I think it'll be good.
I think the Sonic the Hedgehog thing was an inside job. They released it ugly on purpose to then reveal that it's actually going to look good the whole time.
If they did, that's honestly one of the best inside jobs I've seen in a while, because what a fucking 180. They made 3 of these motherfuckers and they're killing it.
Yeah, so office. I think the Minecraft movie, especially because it's called a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, just make it animated. Like.
Yeah. So I was watching a, I guess you could say, insider look or like insider edition, and they were talking with the directors and with Jack Black and with Jason Momoa and the other 2 characters, I can't remember their names.
Who cares? No one cares.
Yeah, that are in the movie.
No one cares.
And the director, I really want to focus on him, because he was the one I'm like, this is your movie. He was like, we really want to, we know that this is a very stressful movie, and I'm like, well, if you know that, then do what we want. Like, I don't feel like a lot of people are going, this is great, guys. This looks really good. We can't wait to have Jack Black wear a blue shirt and call it a day. Like, I don't think we're seeing that. And they even teamed up with a YouTuber, I forgot his name right now, who helped them with the movie. And I'm like,
okay, that's even weirder, bro.
Like, you being a part of that community, hopefully at the good side and not the pedophile side. You know,
yeah.
You know, like, hopefully, like, you know, you're telling, listen, can we maybe look at this and make this animated? Like we've done it. Look at Mario. They did a good job there. Like, I feel like they
also, like, let's not forget that Across the Spider-Verse was like the best-selling animated movie.
Yes.
In like recent memory, bro.
Yeah, like we're doing really. We have the technology. We can make it happen. Like, I just don't get why they're not.
Especially because they already did that shit. It was called Minecraft Story Mode.
Yeah, like,
do it again.
We did it. It worked out decently, but it worked out like it can. I don't know. Well, hopefully, I'm praying that like they come to their senses or something, and they get around to that. And lastly, the last topic that we're going to talk about is Squid Game Season 2.
I still have not watched Season 2.
So we're not even going to spoil it. We're not even going to spoil anything, which is great. Just off of, I'm not sure if you read the reviews. If you haven't, it has not done as well as the first season.
Okay, I would expect that because it's
how
been
do you top?
What? No, but also like
10 years.
Well, I mean, you could have very easily topped it if you raised the stakes and like you know, the story was good. But it's been, when did Squid Game come out? 2021.
Yeah, it's been like 4 years.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah,
right.
No, it's been a while.
And again, I always bring this up. They released the game show, which was not season 2, but it was marketed like season 2.
Yeah.
But it was a reality show.
Yeah.
So a lot of people got confused.
Yeah.
Right. And then that probably burned a lot of people who were waiting for season 2, but then it you know, it wasn't that, so they stopped caring.
Yeah.
And so I think like I think if the season came out literally like 2 years earlier, the reviews would probably be better, right?
Yeah.
Because it was still fresh in the mind of everyone, right?
Yeah.
But also I think like, and I don't know because it's a Netflix show, so I kind of want to say it's Hollywood, but it's probably not Hollywood technically. But anyway, I feel like Hollywood just has a really bad problem with like, oh, this made us $1 million gajillion dollars. Let's continue it.
Yeah,
even if it doesn't necessarily need to be continued. Like,
yeah,
I know that at the end, Giyun figures out that the Squid Game is still happening, and he goes to stop it. Right?
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. But like, it could have just ended with him going to see his daughter and not being a deadbeat, right?
Yeah.
And like, also, I don't understand why at the end of season 1 he has red hair and he's like rich and shit, and then he goes back to the game and he's like all disheveled with short hair. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, it's weird. Dude, I'll tell you, with no spoilers, they never explained that part. He just changed his hair color or something. Like, they're just like, oh, yeah, back to black. No reason behind it. It's weird. But
also, like, and I'm sure this is like in the show.
Yeah.
But like, why the fuck would they allow him to go back in the game?
Yeah, well, you'll see. It's not bad. Honestly, it's still worth the watch. Like, I enjoyed it. I think it was still a good
Is it over?
show.
Is the season over?
Yeah,
the season over?
Yeah. They're going to make, and it ends off of, and like you said, I think you are right. I think a part of it is Hollywood. The way that it ends, you have to continue. You have no choice.
Okay, because it reminds me of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know about you, but I think Stranger Things should have ended after season 1.
Yeah.
It should have just ended, right? But you know, they left it open. Okay, you want to make a season 2? Okay. It should have ended after season 2 100%. Season 3 did not need to happen.
No,
especially because
it sucks.
Especially because annoying. Hopper, like his character is just completely thrown out the window in season 3. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing, right? But like, again, like, these people make a good story and the story ends open. Yeah. And they're like, okay, it's good. And then it makes $1 billion. And like, well, we left it open. We could continue. And it's like, should you really though?
Yeah.
Like, should you really?
Yeah. No, right. I agree with you. But also, like, I read somewhere, it was like something about the fact that like he almost like lost his hair or like lost his mind, making the new season. The
director.
The director. Yeah. Like he always like fucking like lost his shit. It's tough. Like if you think about it, like, you know, making a show that good. I mean, the show for the first, that was a really big thing. Like, oh my god, this is crazy.
it was what brought a lot of people back to Netflix, right?
For sure, 100%. You know, so it's like to have that kind of pressure on you to recreate that is difficult. It really is difficult, you know. But I think for all intents and purposes, I think he did a good job. Would I say he blew it out of the water? No. But I think he did a really good job, and there's a couple of twists and turns that you'll see at the end. I really like it starts off slow, and once you get like halfway through, the shit picks up hyper speed, like quickly, and you're like, oh shit, like, and then like the last one, you're like, oh fuck, like you see one thing that's gonna happen, and then you're like, okay, like it's gonna happen, and then something else happens, you're like, oh fuck, I wasn't ready for that part. Oh shit, oh shit, you're like, you're saying oh shit because they're killing off characters. You're like, wait. Yeah. What? You never? That's weird. So it's gonna be interesting. It's still a good watch, and I'm curious to see what happens in the next season. But there will be a season 3. They're gonna be doing what they did for you. They're doing a part 1, part 2. I think the first part comes out in February, and then the second part I don't know when. But yeah. But anyways, thank you, Khalil, for joining me, for taking Patrick's spot in this show. But we have to say goodbye. It's been about an hour, and we got some great content. Patrick's gonna be so happy. So hopefully we'll have you back on the show to talk about more about the whole. I think we have to do an episode on just school, because you honestly today, I gotta say, you blew my fucking mind. The hobbies part blew my mind. That really fucking hit me. Like, that's crazy. So definitely want to talk about that more in the future with you, and maybe we'll get Patrick involved in that, and we'll talk more. But as always, at the end of every episode, this is Flabbergasted by Audacity. I'm Jamal.
I'm Khalil.
And we'll see you guys next time.
The decision rests with you.